Let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about this. You're sitting in a classroom. The teacher hands back your test. You got a C-. The kid next to you got an A. Now, what's the first thought that pops into your head? Is it, I'm just not smart enough for this? Or is it, okay, what did I get wrong and how do I fix it? Because here's the thing, that tiny moment, that tiny thought, says everything about how your life is going to turn out. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm not being dramatic. This is backed by decades of scientific research from one of the most respected psychologists at Stanford University. Her name is Dr. Carol Dweck, and in her groundbreaking book, Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, she discovered something that completely changes the way we understand intelligence, talent, success, failure, and even love. And the most shocking part? Most of us, without even realizing it, have been thinking about ourselves all wrong. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn in the next 20 minutes could honestly change the direction of your entire life. Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm glad you found this video. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most important psychology books ever written. It's been read by millions of people around the world. CEOs read it, athletes read it, teachers read it, parents read it. But most importantly, regular people just like you and me have read it, applied it, and completely transformed their lives because of it. The book is called Mindset by Dr. Carol Dweck, and if I had to sum it up in one sentence, it would be this: what you believe about yourself determines everything about what you can achieve. Sounds simple, right? But the depth of what Dr. Dweck uncovered goes way, way beyond a motivational quote. Through decades of research with thousands of students, athletes, teachers, and executives, she discovered that there are essentially two types of mindsets. And depending on which one you have, you either grow through challenges or you crumble under them. In this video, we're going to break down 7 powerful lessons from this book. Lessons that will make you rethink how you handle failure, criticism, hard work, and success itself. Let's get into it. Okay, Dr. Dweck's whole book is built around one central idea. And it starts with a very simple question she asked children in her research. If you could choose, would you rather have a hard puzzle or an easy one? And what she found was fascinating. Some kids immediately said, "Give me the harder one. I want a challenge. Let's go." But other kids, they chose the easy one, the safe one, the one they already knew they could do. And from that tiny difference, an entire theory was born. Dr. Dweck discovered that people generally fall into one of two categories. The first is what she calls the fixed mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe that their qualities, their intelligence, their talent, their personality, are carved in stone. You're either smart or you're not. You're either talented or you're not. And no amount of effort is going to change that. The second is the growth mindset. People with a growth mindset believe that their abilities can be developed, that they can get smarter, get better, get stronger through effort, learning, and persistence. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Think about this. Two people can have the exact same talent, the exact same starting point. But if one has a fixed mindset and the other has a growth mindset, they're going to end up in completely different places in life. And Dr. Dweck spent decades proving exactly that. Again and again, in classrooms, boardrooms, and sports arenas around the world. So which one are you? Don't worry. We're going to unpack that throughout this video, because most of us are a mix of both, and we just don't know it yet. Here's a question. Growing up, what were you praised for? Did your parents, your teachers, your coaches say things like, "You're so smart. You're naturally gifted. You're a born athlete"? Sounds like a good thing, right? Sounds like encouragement. Sounds like love. But here's the surprising part. And this is one of the most counterintuitive findings in the entire book. Praising someone for being smart is one of the most harmful things you can do to their development. I know. That sounds insane. But let me explain. When you tell a child you're so smart, what you're actually doing, without realizing it, is tying their identity to their performance. You're saying your value is in the outcome. Your worth is in the result. So what happens the next time that child faces a hard problem? They think, if I try this and fail, people will think I'm not smart anymore. My identity is at risk. So they stop trying hard things. They play it safe. They avoid challenges. They stop raising their hand in class. They choose the easy puzzle, not the hard one. Dr. Dweck tested this directly. She gave children a series of puzzles. After the first round, she praised one group by saying, "Wow, you're really smart." She praised the other group by saying, "Wow, you really worked hard on that." Then she gave both groups a choice. Try an easier puzzle or a harder one. The kids praised for being smart. Most of them chose the easy one. They wanted to protect their reputation. The kids praised for effort. Most of them chose the harder one. They wanted to grow. And this is where most people make a mistake when it comes to raising kids, managing teams, or even talking to themselves. The lesson isn't praise less. The lesson is praise the right thing, praise the process, praise the effort, praise the persistence. Don't say you're so smart. Say, I love how hard you worked on that. That small shift, it changes everything. You probably know him as the greatest basketball player of all time. 6 championships, 5 MVPs, the guy who made Nike a billion-dollar empire with a pair of sneakers. But do you know what happened when Michael Jordan was in high school? He got cut from his varsity basketball team. Yes, the greatest basketball player who ever lived was told by a coach that he wasn't good enough to be on the team. And instead of saying, "I guess I'm just not talented," he went home, cried in his room, and then went back to the gym. Every single day. Harder than before. That is the growth mindset in action. In mindset, Dr. Dweck shows that people with a fixed mindset see failure as a verdict, as a label, as a permanent stamp on their forehead that says, "You're not good enough." But people with a growth mindset see failure as feedback, as information, as a teacher saying, "Here's what you need to work on." And this difference, this tiny invisible shift in interpretation, is what separates people who quit from people who keep going. Think about a time in your own life when you failed at something. A job interview, a relationship, an exam, a business idea that didn't work out. Did you walk away thinking, "I'm not good enough for this"? Or did you walk away thinking, "Okay, what can I learn from this"? There's a famous quote often attributed to Thomas Edison. When asked about his 10,000 failed attempts to invent the light bulb, he reportedly said, "I didn't fail 10,000 times. I found 10,000 ways that don't work." That is a growth mindset sentence, and it's a sentence that changed the world, literally. And this next lesson might change how you think about talent and success forever. In our culture, we love the idea of the natural, the person who was just born with it, the prodigy, the genius, the one who makes it look effortless. We put those people on pedestals. We tell their stories over and over. We say they were just born for this. But Dr. Dweck's research shows that being labeled a natural is actually a curse. Think about it. If you believe your success comes from natural talent, what does that say about the role of effort? It says effort doesn't matter. You either have it or you don't. And when people with this belief hit a wall, when they struggle for the first time, when something doesn't come easily, they panic. Because suddenly the story breaks down. If I have to work hard at this, maybe I wasn't born for it after all. Dr. Dweck studied elite gymnasts, tennis players, chess prodigies, and what she found was that the ones who burned out or gave up weren't the least talented. They were often the ones who had been told their entire lives how naturally gifted they were, because they had built their identity on being the natural. And the moment that identity was threatened, they had nothing else to fall back on. The ones who kept growing. They were the ones who believed that their abilities were something they built, not something they were given. Effort is not what you do when you don't have talent. Effort is what creates talent. Read that again. Let it sink in. Here's something that might surprise you. The fixed versus growth mindset doesn't just show up in schools and workplaces. It shows up in our relationships, our friendships, our marriages, the way we love people. Think about this. Someone with a fixed mindset believes that if you have to work at a relationship, if there's conflict, effort, communication, compromise, that's a sign it wasn't meant to be. That you're just not compatible. That real love should feel easy. Sound familiar? That's basically half of every romantic movie ever made. But someone with a growth mindset believes that relationships are built, not found. That compatibility isn't something two people either have or don't have. It's something they develop together over time. Dr. Dweck looked at couples over the long term, and she found that couples who had a growth mindset toward their relationship, who believed they could work through problems and grow together, reported deeper satisfaction, stronger communication, and more resilience when things got hard. Couples who had a fixed mindset. When problems arose, they often interpreted them as signs that the relationship was broken beyond repair. They pulled away. They gave up. Here's the application for you. The next time you're in a conflict with someone you love, a partner, a friend, a family member, instead of asking, "Is this relationship worth it?" ask, "What can we both learn from this? How can we grow through this together?" Great relationships don't happen. They're built brick by brick, conversation by conversation, effort by effort. Okay, so by now you're probably thinking, all right, I get it. Growth mindset, good. Fixed mindset, bad. Got it. But here's the thing. Dr. Dweck is very clear about something crucial. Nobody is purely growth mindset or purely fixed mindset. We all have both. We all have areas where we grow through challenges and areas where we run from them. She calls them fixed mindset triggers. Specific situations that push even growth-minded people into a fixed mindset spiral. Chato. Here are a few that you'll probably recognize. Number 1, facing a really difficult challenge for the first time. Suddenly you start thinking, maybe I'm just not cut out for this. Number 2, someone criticizes your work. Instead of hearing the feedback, you feel personally attacked. Like they're not criticizing the work, they're criticizing you. Number 3, you watch someone succeed at something you've been struggling with. And instead of feeling inspired, you feel threatened, maybe even resentful. Any of those sound familiar? So what do you do about it? Dr. Dweck's answer is surprisingly simple, and it starts with just noticing. She says the first step is to become aware of your fixed mindset voice. Give it a name if you want. Call it the critic, the saboteur, whatever you want. And when you hear it say things like, "You can't do this, you're going to fail, don't even try," recognize it for what it is, not the truth, just a habit, just an old story. Then, consciously, deliberately, choose the other story. Maybe I can't do this yet, but I can learn, I can try, I can grow. It sounds simple, it is simple, but it is not easy. And doing it consistently? That's where real change happens. We're almost at the end. And I want to leave you with something you can use starting today. Literally today. Starting with your very next thought about yourself. It's one tiny word. 3 letters. Yet. Dr. Dweck gave a talk. One of the most watched TED Talks in history. And she talked about a high school in Chicago where students who didn't pass a class didn't receive a failing grade. They received the grade, "Not yet." Think about how different that feels. You failed. Versus, "You haven't succeeded yet." One of those sentences closes a door. The other one leaves it open. And that little word, "yet," is one of the most powerful tools in the growth mindset toolkit. I can't do this becomes, I can't do this yet. I'm not good at math becomes, I'm not good at math yet. I don't know how to start a business becomes, I don't know how to start a business yet. See what's happening? You're not lying to yourself. You're not pretending the difficulty doesn't exist. You're just refusing to make the difficulty permanent. You're saying, "This is where I am. It is not where I'm staying." There's a woman Dr. Dweck writes about. A woman who struggled with reading her entire childhood. Teachers told her she was slow. She believed them. She carried that belief for years. Then, in her 40s, she started reading with a different mindset. She stopped believing she couldn't read. She started believing she couldn't read. Yet. And she learned. Slowly. Painfully. With incredible effort. But she learned. And eventually she read to her grandchildren. And every single night was a miracle to her. That's not just a nice story. That's proof. Proof that the brain, at any age, is capable of growth when given the right belief system. Okay, let's bring it all together. Lesson 1. There are 2 mindsets, fixed and growth. One believes abilities are carved in stone. The other believes they can always be developed. Lesson 2. Praising effort over intelligence builds resilience. Don't praise the person, praise the process. Lesson 3. Failure is not a verdict. It's feedback. It's information. It's a teacher. And people with a growth mindset use it to get better, not to give up. Lesson 4. Being labeled the natural can actually hold you back. Real greatness is built through sustained effort, not born through effortless talent. Lesson 5. Growth mindset shows up in relationships too. Great partnerships are built through effort, communication, and a commitment to growing together. Lesson 6. We all have fixed mindset triggers. The key is awareness. Recognize the old story and consciously choose the new one. And Lesson 7. Add the word "yet" to every limitation you believe about yourself. It turns a closed door into an open hallway. Here's what I want you to walk away with today. You are not the label someone put on you when you were 7 years old. You are not the grade on a test from 15 years ago. You are not the rejection, the failure, the embarrassment, the moment where someone told you that you couldn't. You are a work in progress. A living, breathing, growing human being who is capable of far more than you've been told, and far more than you've allowed yourself to believe. Dr. Carol Dweck didn't just write a book about psychology. She wrote a roadmap for human potential. And the beautiful thing is, the path is available to all of us, regardless of where we started, how old we are, or what we've been through. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the story you're telling yourself about who you are and what you can do. Change the story. Change the outcome. It starts and ends with your mindset. Start small. The next time you face something hard, a challenge, a setback, a frustrating problem, instead of asking, "Am I good enough for this?" ask, "What can I learn from this? How can I grow?" That's it. That's the whole thing. One question, one shift, every single day. Because every giant tree in the world started as a tiny seed, and every version of you that you've ever admired, the stronger you, the wiser you, the more confident you, started with a single decision to believe that you could grow. You can. You will. Start today. If this video added something to your life today, if even one idea made you pause, think, or see yourself differently, please hit the like button right now. It genuinely helps more people find this content, and that means a lot to me. And if you're new here, welcome. I make videos like this every week on books, ideas, and mindset shifts that can actually change your life. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, which lesson from mindset hit you the hardest? And what's one area of your life where you're going to start applying a growth mindset starting today? I read every single comment. So don't be shy. Let's talk. I'll see you in the next one. Keep growing.